Good morning, my beautiful brothers and sisters in Yeshua. Today is Friday, the 4th of October, 2024. It is 9:51 a.m. here in Australia. I hope you're doing very well, and I hope you've been blessed. Brothers and sisters, long time no chit-chat, but I thought I'd come on here today, not because I really have the urge or desire to make a video, but rather just because I know that the time that we're living in at the moment is literally like the last ride at the showground, if you know what I'm saying. It is the roller coaster, and we're going through the motions right now. It is very, very clear, very evident we're at the end. But the objective of my video this morning is to bring a sense of peace and just to enjoy the ride. That's really all I'm coming to bring to this video this morning. So anyway, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about where I am spiritually on my spiritual walk with Father, and any advice or anything like that that I can give. And we're going to do a little bit of study. I'm going to show you a few things, but the essence of this video this morning is I really don't want to do this anymore, brothers and sisters. I don't have the calling or the real desire to study these things anymore, because everything is being revealed right now. It's kind of all right, we've done the work, we've done the hard yards, we've done the research, we've done the searching, we've done the exploring. Now we get to sit back a little bit and let this all domino effect. Okay, like with what's going on with what's his face, Diddy, and all that kind of stuff. I just saw a TikTok just before I jumped on here, and basically, where the port strike is at the moment, and how that in itself is huge, because for every day apparently they go on strike, it puts the supply back 1 week, I think. Yeah, 7 days. So there's that issue in itself, like with the food supply, and I suppose you're probably already seeing that over in America, close to those areas near the port. But the big thing with the port is that's literally 100 meters from Diddy's residence. Okay, so the game is on. Okay, it's green light, go. We're at the end, brothers and sisters, no matter which way you want to look at it. And I just thought I'd jump on here and give you all a word of encouragement, because for the since I made my last video, I've really, really been trying very hard. And it's also hard now because I've got myself into a habit, but to just be so positive. And I know that sounds like I always say hippie, hippie, la la, but it really does make the world of difference. Like, just to be thankful for the, roof over your head, the clothes. Even when you have a hot shower, you're like, I'm so thankful that I'm so blessed to be able to have a hot shower. I'm so blessed that I'm able to put food in my fridge. I'm so blessed that I have a roof over my head, and it's, I love my place. Instead of we're always complaining and whinging and carrying on, I really trying my hardest to live in a state of love and just gratitude and thankfulness. And I've never experienced more peace in my life than I have right now. And I really want that for you guys too. So, how can I say this? If I want to try and put my spiritual walk in a nutshell, I'm at the point now, brothers and sisters, where we've been lied to so much. The deception is so great. And I'm at the point where I shared this statement with somebody yesterday in an email, a dear brother. Basically, I'm at the point where I am comfortable with just existing. I'm thankful, I'm grateful. I'm not concerned anymore of the rapture or moving into the second dimension, or the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, whatever it is. I'm not concerned with any of it anymore, because in the end, it is all causing division between us. Okay, like the flat Earth, the globe Earth, the rapture, the Ascension. All it does is continue to let us bicker between each other. I'm right, you're wrong. Your heresy, you're a heretic, whatever it may be. So I am sticking to my golden rule, which is basically I have one absolute truth that I know. I don't just believe, I don't just have faith, but I know this. I know my Father in heaven. Okay, that is the creator, the source of it all. Whether you want to call him God, Father, creator, source, they all are him, it, the essence, whatever, Father may be. In my walk, I see him as a father figure, and that's how I like it. That's how I resonate with that God source. And I think it's just very important to realize, no matter what walk we're walking, or what journey or what road we're going down, is to remember that Father looks on the heart. That's the most important thing that I can tell you, brothers and sisters, that Father looks on the heart. And the reason he does this is very clear, especially now, is because the deception is so grand. I'm just going to have a sip of tea. Okay, the deception is so grand, so there's no way that I could believe that a just, fair, loving, merciful, kind, all the things, Father in heaven would punish us for being deceived. So I am happy to hang this one out. I'm happy to be at the sidelines now. I've been in the trenches for, and been the black sheep of my family and my friend group and everything like that all my life. So I'm happy just to chill now. I feel like I've done the work. I've done, I did a lot of work within the Rapture watching community, and I would have given my life for that. And, I don't regret a single thing, because I believe that Father had placed that in my life to have, I don't want to call it a following, because that sounds very cultish, but, to have a bunch of people that really resonated with the Rapture and was excited to watch for days and all this kind of stuff. And then as time went on, more and more of us woke up and went, hang on, something's not right. There isn't just this magical escape of this poof into the air and, and we're all out of here. We have to stick this through to the end, brothers and sisters. So when you start looking into different theories or, ways of spiritual, walks, then you can see that, to me, when you stand outside the box, if you want to call it New Age, I hate titles because it's not New Age, because this was a form of belief system before Christianity or anything like that. So it's not New Age. It's actually, Anyway, but if you want to take, let's say, New Age and Christianity side by side, and you have, you've got Christianity, which, you're looking towards, looking forward for a rapture, okay, for Jesus to come in the clouds and take us away, and we're going to live in heaven, and then we're going to live, the New Jerusalem's going to come down to the earth, and then we're going to live forever on the new earth, and it's going to be beautiful. And then you got the New Age, and it's like, evil will be revealed, and it'll dissolve. Eventually, the light will overtake the darkness, and the darkness will not be able to, exist anymore. And then we are going to create that golden age, because all of us will be living in love and light, and there'll be no, because we've gone through it, we understand it. And this is why, have you ever questioned the fact that once we get to heaven, this is all done, what happens if this happens again? You know what I mean? What if we get another Lucifer who starts whispering in ears and starts this crap again? But in reality, this is why it makes sense that we have to go through this all, right? We have to go through it to the end so that we understand, our consciousness understands, our heart understands, our soul understands what evil did to the world, what evil did to society, to people, to families, to children, all the things. We have to have gone through that. We have to see it with our own eyes. We have to understand it. and with our own heart. And this is where we are now. And it's good. It's wonderful. It's the way it should be. Okay? But, a lot of people forget Luke chapter 10, where Jesus himself said that, I give you power over all scorpions and serpents and over all evil, so that nothing can touch you. Nothing can touch you, brothers and sisters. He's given us the power for everything. It's just the belief and the faith that we've got to play out in this. How much do you actually believe this, or do you actually know this? I know for a fact that I'm protected, that I'm blessed, that my children are protected and blessed while they're at school. I know for a fact that my Father hears me when I talk to him. I know this. I don't have faith in it, in something that I can't see. I know this. And, this is how we're supposed to have a relationship with Father. Okay, is to absolutely know. To know he is there. He loves us. And it's, like I always say, the victory's already been won. Okay, what Jesus did. And I think there's a lot more. It's just coming to me now, actually, because, the narrative is right. Jesus dies on the cross. He has this horrible bloody death, and he took on all the sins of the whole world, and he died for our sins. And unless we believe that, we're not going to go to heaven, right? Is that not funny that Jesus never says that once in every part of the gospel? Okay, Matthew, Mark, Luke. I'm talking about John. Okay, every part of the gospel in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. Jesus never said anything about, I'm going to die a horrible, tragic death, and you must believe in this to be saved. You must believe that I died for you to be saved, and that you are now going to be covered in the blood, and that's what's going to save you. Jesus never said that, not once. Okay, this is a Paulinian doctrine. Okay, Paul started this whole thing with being covered in the blood of Jesus, and being, having to believe in the death of Jesus to be saved. And brothers and sisters, like I've said to you before, let's go back to the original Q source. They call the original, source of where something came from, they call it Q source. And that was the sayings of Jesus, okay, otherwise known as the Gospel of Thomas. That's the original, where they believe that Paul took the writings from, or, his message from. Because remember, Paul says very clearly that this is my gospel. He's not talking about Jesus' gospel. It is Paul's gospel. Okay? And so scholars have all confirmed that they believe that Mark was the very first gospel to be written. So Mark took from the original Q source, which was the sayings of Jesus, or the Gospel of Thomas. And that is why Mark is only 13 chapters long or something like that. It's the shortest one out of all the Gospels, right? And notice, Mark does not have a birth story or a resurrection story. So that is not important here. It's not important that Jesus was born. It's not important that how Jesus died. Okay, what is important is what he came to teach. Okay, and I think this is being construed with a lot of, trying to make Jesus into that deity of the source, the Father of it all. He's not. Jesus is the Son of God, as we are the sons and daughters of God, the Father. Okay, so with that being said, again, I'm trying to nutshell where I am on my spiritual walk. I am just happy to watch the world go by, things happening, because I look around and I'm so appreciative. Like, I go sit outside and just the butterflies, the birds, the bees, they're all in harmony with each other. No one's eating or praying or, praying on each other or anything like that. It's just harmony at my place and my house and, in my life. And I believe that is a sign of being on the right track. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not even worried at the fact of if an asteroid or or something was coming to Earth and it would just annihilate Earth. I'm not worried about that because I know that I know as much as I can possibly humanly know that there is no such thing as death. It's I've watched so many near-death experience documentaries, videos, testimonies, and I binged watched. I think his name is Tyler Henry. He is a medium for the celebrities, right? And I know some of you are probably freaking out going, oh, the Old Testament told us to stay away from talking to the dead. But, I question already the Old Testament. That is not our Father in heaven, that God in the Old Testament, okay? That's the Elohim, Yahweh, all the things. Anyway, I've done many videos on that if you want to go back and watch that. But to watch this kid, like at least I watched 15 of his different readings, and there's no way that any of that is evil because nothing is brought across as, you got to go do this to hurt this person or whatever. It is things to help people have closure in their life. It is, I even watched this one last night where they were brought to the attention of this little girl's passing and who her killer was. The little girl who had died from the other side told this lady in this reading the name of her killer, and they were able to go and arrest this person and, all the things. And I'm like, this is why we're told a lot of the things that we're told. You can't do this. And, I'm pretty much under the impression that whatever the government says or whatever we're told not to do, we should go and do that, and vice versa. But, I just want to let you know. And I'm just going to run through, like I said, I'm not really into these videos anymore. I just wanted to come across here to let you guys know that whatever you've seen, you can see the whole world falling apart. Look around you. Make your sanctuary just that, a sanctuary of joy, peace, happiness. Live each day to your fullest joy. Whatever makes you happy, if you like sewing, if you like drawing, do the things. It's the end, brothers and sisters. It's literally the end. And, there's a running joke that I see on every single, there's an asteroid coming to Earth sort of video. And the comments always are, oh, does that mean I have to go to work on Monday? It's like a running joke. But one day this will wrap up. It doesn't mean we're going to die, but evil will be extinguished. And, and we are going to go into that new earth, new world, 5D, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. Names, titles are not important. They're so not important. Now, so with that being said, go live your life. Be happy. Stop watching, if you can watch the news and it doesn't stir you up and make you fearful, that's fine. That's cool. But, if it's giving you fear and all this kind of rubbish, turn it off. Watch, documentaries on pets and zoo animals and beautiful ocean holidays. I don't know, just whatever you really have joy and love for in life. Get in it. Life be in it, brothers and sisters. Life be in it. All right, so now we're going to go to, I just want to show you a few things because just for the sake of making this video, really, because I don't know if I will come back, or if I ever come back and make more videos. But I was thinking of maybe possibly doing some kind of podcast style where, I wouldn't mind starting from the beginning of the New Testament and reading through it with you guys, because a lot of the stuff I don't think we've ever read before. We know the gist of the story and, we know the main bits, but all these other books in the Bible, like Hebrews and Romans and all them, I don't think we've ever really fully read them. So I thought that might be a fun thing to do. If you're interested in that, please let me know in the comment section, because if only one or two people are interested, then I'm not going to waste my time doing that. But, if you guys want to do that literal Bible study, and we can do that from now until literally time's up. That's going to take us a while if we start at, Matthew chapter 1 and dissect each verse, brothers and sisters, and I'll show you how a lot of it's been fabricated. Okay, so I want to show you this. Okay. All right, so this here is, let's start at my first tab. All right, what is this? Matthew 8, 1 to 13. Okay, now, this is interesting because I had this thought the other night. Father's put this thought on my mind. Just this particular verse here. And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus said unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I'm not worthy that you shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh. And my servants do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and the west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness, where there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Now, there's two massive things in this, brothers and sisters. The first one, I didn't even read verse 12 the first time I looked at this, anyway, so the first one, I want you to note here that Jesus, when this man said, I'm not worthy for you to come to my place, just say the word and I know my servant will be healed. Jesus literally replies to him and says, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great of a faith in all of Israel. Now I'm like, hang on a second. Because when Father put this verse into my mind, I'm like, if that's what Jesus is calling the greatest example of faith, is because this man, he understood Jesus' authority was more than his. And all this stuff was coming together to me it's almost as if Jesus, how he talks in parables and riddles and all these types of things, there's almost as if there's this underlying riddle of, you are divine. You've got this. You need to save yourself. Okay, and this is another one of those verses the kingdom of heaven is something that you cannot observe. So you can't look around and say, oh, heaven is over west or heaven is in the east, whatever. He says, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Okay, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Brothers and sisters, we need to get real here. We've been lied to. We're always looking for something outside of ourselves to save ourselves. And when you think about it, religion has been, especially Christianity, has been the most wonderful but yet detrimental thing to have ever existed. Okay, because it's this constant, for instance, Jesus' death, right? All the Christians in the world who've cried and mourned and, when we do Passover and Easter time, all the fear and the sadness and everything like this. And people walking around with wearing the cross. And I'm not having to go at anyone wearing the cross. I'm just saying it is constant representation of death. Okay? If you want to wear a necklace, then maybe, and if you believe in the resurrection of Jesus, then maybe wear, a tomb with the door open, rather than a cross. But anyway, it's just a constant, it's like reminding you all the time to remember his bloody death. And I don't know, brothers and sisters. And this is what I'm saying. This is why I keep bringing up Mark. It's so important to know what the original source is, because you can see what happened with Matthew and Luke is they just went all, days of our lives on us and added the drama. The whole immaculate birth and all that. It's very well known that the Council of Nicaea, agreed to put that in. That was agreed on, like the Trinity thing and all the things was the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. They did a lot of things. It's there. Go research it for yourself, And one thing I'm just thinking of now, while, I don't know, it just popped into my head. Remember how I always used to get right into the calendars, and I love the calendar and all the things. And I've talked many times about how in the year 582 AD, Pope Gregory the 8th, I believe, it was the 8th, he basically decided, he was the creator of the Gregorian calendar, right? So on the 4th of October, 582 AD, Pope Gregory introduced the Gregorian calendar, and the very next day became October the 15th, 1582, no longer 582, 1582. This is where the 1,000 years basically was added onto our calendar, okay? It says this in the Old Testament that he seeks to change times and laws. So there's no big whoop that 1,000 years has been added on. This could explain so many things in history, Back in the day, remember I did a thing about the flood, saying that I believe Noah's flood was actually what we're seeing as the mud flood, the Tartarian, and Christ's reign, the millennial kingdom or whatever it was, could have very well been, the last 1,000 years or whatever it may be. And now we're living in that little season. Because it does say that he's going to gather, all the kings and rulers from all around the world, whatever, to play out this last battle. Who knows? It doesn't really matter. That's the whole point of this video. It doesn't really matter what is truth, because like I said before, our Father in heaven, he knows how deceived we've been and how much we've forgotten where we came from. I had this thought the other night, and I thought this would be cool. I thought the people who really seek heaven, who really seek the rapture, the ascension, who are really just dying to get back home, and, they just don't belong. They've always felt like they don't belong here. I wonder if those people, you and me, if we were the angels that didn't fall, because how it says 1/3 of the angels fell, and I'm thinking, I wonder if that's who Lucifer came to, tempt, and he brought down to this earth with him to start this civilization down here on earth, 1/3 of those angels. And I wonder if we are the ones that didn't comply, but we are down here to help. We're down here, and this is why we were born for such a time as this. I wonder if we're down here to help, and this is why we do things like videos and TikToks and social media, and that's what we've got, this day and age. But I also thought too, because the verse that says, your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life from the foundations of the creation of the world. Brothers and sisters, that means, or this could be another theory, if our names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life from the foundations of the creation of the world, then what if we're down here with the 1/3 of the angels that fell? Okay, but we've been here since the beginning. Like, I'm talking Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve from there, or whoever, because Adam and Eve were not the first human beings. Obviously, Genesis 1, we've talked about this, there was heaps of men and women created, right? What am I trying to say? Basically, what if we've lived in every civilization, every generation? We just, because it's our soul, this meat suit, this fleshly body that we, that we use as a vehicle. What if that's what changes every generation? And this is why we get deja vu. This is why, like, for me personally, I really had this strong inclination that I was a sailor. I'm talking like a proper explorer sailor person, with the telescope and all, and the knee up on the anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I wonder if we've lived through every generation. Thank you, Father. It just reminded me of something I thought of ages ago to go with this. Because I've always thought, how is those people, people in Africa, or people in the Amazon rainforest, or people in the middle of nowhere that hasn't had any contact with civilization, how is it fair for those people if the only way that we're saved is by believing in the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ? What about those people who are living in the middle of nowhere and they've never had contact with religion or Christianity or white people or all the things? And then I thought, well, imagine if we go through every generation so that we personally have seen Jesus, and that we've seen, all the characters in the Bible. We've lived through that age. We just can't remember it because they keep wiping our memory every time we get to a new generation. But this generation, the final generation, we're gaining our memory back, as hard as it is, because of all the poisons in the food and the water and the jib jabs, all the things that they're trying to do to hold that memory contained. I don't know. So I'm just ranting here. But what if that's why our names were written in the Lamb's Book of Life from the creation of the foundation of the world? Is because we literally have been here since the creation of this earth. And this is whether we agreed to sign on to, however many generations of hundreds or thousands or millions of years, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. It's not a salvation issue, but I truly think that we've been here all along. And this is why people in the Amazon instinctively know there's a God. Instinctively know. And like Jesus said, you've only got two trees, a good fruit tree or a bad fruit tree. You can't have the in-betweens. So you're either a good person or you're not. You know what I'm saying? So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Why Jesus says that, verily I haven't seen such a great faith in Israel. Because old mate was like, I'm a man under authority, just like you. So I just want you to start questioning things, brothers and sisters, of what's really important. Like, what is, the belief system here? Do we have to believe in that bloody, torturous, painful, horrific death of Jesus Christ to be saved? All this blood, it's like a continuation of the old Yahweh Old Testament, blood sacrifice and, pay me homage, and if you don't, I'll destroy man, woman and child, and all the garbage that went on in the Old Testament. Or do we just do what Jesus says? And this is why I'm so big on Jesus' words only. Just read the book of Mark. Read the book of Mark from chapter 1 to chapter 13 and write down everything where Jesus speaks. And that's your list. That's your list, brothers and sisters. I truly feel what's written in Matthew and Luke, all the other add-on bits, yeah, I don't think they're necessary. And I think Paul's trying to create a whole other gospel, and he admits that it's his gospel, with this whole, we're being covered in the blood. I mean, come on now. We're not covered in blood, brothers and sisters. We are children of the Most High. We're not filthy rags. We are blessed, we are protected, we are loved, and we are about to wake up soon, fully, completely awake. And it's going to be magical. It's going to be wonderful. So that's what I wanted to talk about first. Go and have a look for yourselves, and I'll try and do this too if I remember, to have a look at all the instances of faith that Jesus talks about to people and see what he likes and what he didn't like in the way of faith, right? What do you talk? Remember, Jesus' best friends were the tax collectors, the prostitutes, and the publicans. And Jesus literally said, I have only come for the lost house of Israel. Okay? He only came for them. He came for them because they are it's the fallen angel religion. It's the fallen angel worship. It's Baal. It's the moon god. Again, with the Yahweh, the Elohim, his original name was Sin, S-I-N. That was his original name, okay? And he was a mountain god. Yahweh was a mountain god. And this is why, Mount Sinai is still burnt to this day. The top of it's still burnt because he's a fire and mountain God. He's not a God of light and love and all this kind of stuff. Yahweh was a very bloodthirsty God. Okay? So the rest of the world, like Sumerians, for example, okay, the Israelites, they hated Samaria. They hated the Sumerians. They treated them, they'd leave them to die if they were on the side of the road. And who was the first woman that Jesus went and talked to? A Sumerian. So Jesus came to save the lost house of Israel, no one else. He didn't come to save us because we were on the path. We were already a child of God, okay, with all of our flaws that humanity brings us, whether some of us are drunk, some of us, take drugs, some of us, work in, do a bit of money laundering if you want, work in the tax office and try and, all the things. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that none of us are perfect, but we're perfectly loved. You know what I mean? We're perfectly loved. I once heard, and this might be a little bit too trippy for some people, but it makes sense to me, that Father God, the source, let's just imagine he's a gigantic orb, okay, of just radiating loving light, okay. That was the source, that was the first thing that's been here, always has, always will be, right? And the idea is that God, we'll call him God, that God fractalized himself into billions, trillions of pieces, and each of those fractal pieces became one of us, a soul. And the idea is that we are like scouts, and we came down to this earth to experience all the emotions, all the feelings, all the things that a human was to feel and experience, and we are to report back and bring this back to the source, Father, the Creator. And so that the Father, the Creator, can experience every possible emotion, every possible thing that is the earth, humanity, all the things, okay? And I thought, gee, that's a really good way of looking at it. And I was sort of telling my kids that that was a cool theory. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be much better if we were scouts and we came here to Earth to, to gather data, if you will, experiences, and bring them back to Father? Wouldn't it be better if we gathered all the good stuff, like we gathered all the joy and the happiness, the laughter, the kindness, the humanity in us, and brought that back to Father for a much better experience. Because I can imagine bringing, horrible things like murder and, all the terrible things that are going on at the moment. I don't think that could even come near such a beautiful source of love and perfection. I don't know. These are just ramblings of my strange brain. But, the yin and the yang, you can't have the good without the bad. So who knows? Who knows? It's all... getting back to that Yahweh thing. You know how I said his original name was Sin? Well, this is exactly why the Jews to this day... Sin is the name of that God, Yahweh, right? The name of a mountain in Hebrew is Ai. I'm not kidding you. Ai, however you would say that. However you'd say that, right? That's the name of a mountain in Hebrew. So when you have Mount Sinai or Sin, Mount Sinai, that literally means mountain god. Okay, mountain god. That is why that Mount Sinai, that's where they look for that moon. Okay, you know how they look for the first little crescent of the moon? They're looking towards the mountain, and that crescent will come up in that crack of the mountain, and that is their new day. They literally worship the moon, brothers and sisters. It is moon worship, and that is why they start their day at 6 p.m. when the moon rises, okay, or the sun sets. Like, how crazy is that? Jesus even says in the other Gospels that when he... not in Mark though, because like I said, he doesn't have a resurrection story in Mark. But in Matthew and Luke, it says that Jesus rose at the end of the Sabbath, at the beginning of the dawning of the new day. Okay? So the dawn, which makes complete sense. When the sun is coming up in the morning, that is the beginning of the day, beginning of light. Okay? None of this, crescent dark 6 p.m. darkness start of the day crap. This is just ridiculous. So I found it interesting that it says here that, that Jesus says that many will come from the east and the west and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. Now listen to this. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Oh, Father's just laying something on my heart right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what he's laying on my heart right now is these lost people of Israel, the Jews, right? Because they reverence Abraham. Abraham is our father, all right? Abraham and Moses. They actually listen to them people more than they listen to their own God. Okay, and then it says here... So all these Jews are going to be doing this. They're going to be expecting to be sitting down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right? But it says that those children of the kingdom are going to be chucked out to outer darkness. Now, where else does that say chucked out into outer darkness? Oh, man, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've looked for this. Hang on. Okay, it's in Matthew 22. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together as many as they could find, both bad and good, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And the king came. When he came in to see the guest, he saw there was a man which had not on a wedding garment. And he said to him, Friend, brothers and sisters, how did you get in here without having a wedding garment on? And he was speechless. And then the king said to the servant, Bind him hand and foot and take him away and cast him out into outer darkness. Oh my goodness, brothers and sisters. What was I reading from? Yep. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast into outer darkness. That's who Matthew 22 is talking about. Okay? That's who Matthew 22 is talking about, is the lost house of Israel. They're expecting to come and sit with with Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Okay, but they're going to be cast out into outer darkness. So there you go. There's that. All right, so the next thing. Exodus 24. This is a big one, okay, because I just want to show you, just leave everything alone. Even the Bible is completely like, I'm sorry, brothers and sisters, but when I show you these things, if you still want to say that I'm a heretic, or, you know, that I'm trying to lead people astray, you obviously don't read the Bible yourself, because it's very contradicted, okay? Let's have a look at this. Okay, so this is in Exodus 24. And I'll just start a little bit above it. Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, "Behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you concerning all these words." Then went up Moses, Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders. Okay, that's 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 74 people. Okay, 74 people. And they saw the God of Israel, and there was under his feet as if it were paved work of sapphire stone, and as it were the body of heaven in his clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw God and did eat and drink. Okay, so Exodus 24 is legit saying that 74 people plus all the children of Israel ate and drank with God, and they saw him. Okay, you got to keep that in mind. Now in John it says no man has ever seen God at any time. The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he is the one that's declared him. So Jesus revealed the Father, okay, by sharing with us God, Father's will, and what makes a good person, what makes Father happy, and, you know, all the things that Father loves. That's what Jesus revealed. Okay, so Exodus 24 is saying that 74 people plus the children of Israel saw God, and they actually had dinner with him. But in John, it's saying that no man has ever seen God. In John 5, it says, "And the Father himself, which has sent me, has bore witness of me. Ye have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape." Brothers and sisters, what is it? Are you having dinner? Are you having a buffet with God? Or have you never seen his voice, never seen his shape, never seen what he looks like, never heard his voice, never seen his form? What is it? But this, the reason I'm telling you this, brothers and sisters, is because there's an agenda. There was an agenda here to keep us in prison, and unfortunately Christianity is that prison. I'm not talking about having a wonderful relationship with Father and with Jesus, okay? And to be thankful for the beautiful angels and all the things. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about religion, Christianity. You need to be deconstructed of that, okay? Because until you do, brothers and sisters, until you do, you're going to be chained to this way of life. Look, another thing, okay, the Sabbath. You know, the Sabbath is, I get that asked so many times over the years. What do you think about the Sabbath? You know, the commandments were never done away with. Brothers and sisters, Jesus plainly said that the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and worship and serve him only him. Okay, and then he said the second one is to love each other like you love yourself. Love your neighbour as yourself. These are the two greatest commandments, and everything else hangs off them. And then when the guy comes up to him, you know, "Oh, good master, what must we do? What must we do to be saved?" And Jesus again says, you know, don't kill, don't lie, honor mother and father, you know, but does not list the Sabbath thing. If you have to worship on the Sabbath, the tradition, Saturnalia, Satan, okay, all the things, okay, Satan is the god of Saturday or the Sabbath, okay, it's as plain as that. Again, Matthew, look, here we've got Hebrews 13. What did I have here? I think I was reading this and I was like, oh, this is crazy. Okay. Just go and read Hebrews 13 because I don't want to bore you with just reading and stuff like this. But it talks so much of the old blood covenants. Like Paul's really pushing this blood covenant thing, okay? And it's telling you to suffer and, to be poor and to really suffer and sacrifice yourself and all the things to be a good person, to be loved by God. And it's so not true. Father wants us to be full of joy, full of prosperity, full of abundance. That's not to say go and be greedy and horrible to get that. But he wants that for us, that we have the greatest existence while we're here. He doesn't want us to grovel and, smash ourselves with whips and do penance and all those things. This is man. And again, Jesus did all of his miracles on a Sabbath. And it pissed off the Jews big time. Okay? It pissed them off. And that's the whole reason, literally, they put him to the cross. Is, because he was doing things on the Sabbath. He was healing. He was helping people. He was picking corn. He was doing all the things on the Sabbath. He did that on purpose to break us free. Okay, so just go and read Hebrews. Go and read Romans. Oh my goodness. Okay, and here we go. Mark 1. I just want to show you this. John did baptism. See, there's no birth story. There's no birth story. But it starts off here as it is written in the prophets, behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare thee the way before thee. And the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare ye the way of the Lord, make his path straight. So you go to that prophecy, which is in Isaiah 40, and go read Isaiah 39 and go read 40 and 41. And it's talking about Hezekiah. It's literally talking about Hezekiah, okay? The voice in the wilderness. Because Hezekiah has just been given more time to live or something like this. And then down here, check this out. Maybe it's in the next one. Well, basically, Hezekiah got the news of basically... where is it? I've got to find it because I need to show you. Let's have a look. It's got to be either in 41. Must be 39. Just 2 seconds because this is... Oh, here we are. Here we are. Okay, so I went back to 39 because that's how I do it. If they're taking a prophecy, like for instance, Isaiah... chapter 7 verse 14, a maiden will have a child and she shall call him Emmanuel. Okay, that's talking about Isaiah's son, because you read in chapter 8 the birth of that son. So that's what I like to do whenever the New Testament says, and this fulfills the prophecy of, you go back and have a look at the thing and then read the chapter before, during and after, and you will go, oh my goodness, none of this is talking about Jesus. None of it. There's such an agenda here, brothers and sisters, such an agenda. Now, so this, like I said, this in Mark 1, where supposedly John the Baptist was prophesied about, really it's Hezekiah. And now, and so Isaiah says to Hezekiah, because Isaiah got a word from the Lord, right? A word from Yahweh. Behold, the days come that all that is in your house, and that which your fathers have laid up and stored unto this day shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left, said the Lord. And the reason this punishment is put on him is because some son of, a king of Babylon came to Hezekiah and was like, and Hezekiah was like, oh, check out all the stuff I've got. So what does Yahweh go and do? He's like, all right, well, everything will be carried away. All your jewels, all your gold, everything's going to be carried away to Babylon. And it says, and of thy sons that shall issue from you. So the sons that you're going to have shall be taken away from you, and they shall be Enochs. So in other words, have their man bits chopped off in place of the kings of Babylon. And get this, this is Hezekiah's response. And then said Hezekiah to Isaiah, good is the word of the Lord which you have spoken. He said, moreover, for there shall be peace and truth in my days. What the freak? So, yeah, anyway, you've got to read the Bible. You have to read it, and you're like, nah, I can't do this anymore. And this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video today. Is this is just the reason I don't have any content, because everything's just BS. There's only one main thing, and that's our Father, the Creator, the source of it all. And I truly believe that Yeshua Jesus Christ was a messenger, was the Son of God, because like I said, we are the sons and daughters of God too. But he was just an ascended master, because he was able to not be reincarnated, or he was able to ascend back into our home where we're supposed to be. I truly believe that. There's special people in the world that have been able to be ascended masters, and that's not a trippy satanic term. That just means, because they call Jesus master too, right? So, and Jesus ascended, so essentially he's ascended master. He was not able to be trapped, brothers and sisters. He didn't go through this reincarnation thing. He's always had his blinders off. He's always been able to see clearly. He's understood his Father's will perfectly, and that's why he is so special. And, but yeah, so I just thought everybody has to look into this a little bit more, okay? Now, I did see a TikTok yesterday, and I sent it to a few people just so that I could save it myself. But this one fella, long story short, he's a pretty genius in sort of scientific way, but kind of like crazy scientist kind of dude. And basically he was working on this theory, and he took DMT, which is like this mind-altering drug, right? And he was able to basically work it all out, how the formula worked and everything like this. And then so he did this formula, and he tripped out. It was with lasers, right? He pretty much crossed the lasers so they formed this big red cross on the wall. And the amazing thing is he was able to see coding in the laser, like coding as in 0001110111000 within the laser, brothers and sisters. And so he's like, nah, I've got to be tripping to see this. So he got more than 100 people to witness this, and they all said the same thing, and they all could not leave and looking into this, and like, oh my goodness, it looks like we're looking in another dimension. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And this guy, he stands on his life and says, I've literally discovered proof that we're in a simulation, we're in a matrix. And I couldn't think of any better proof than that. I haven't looked any further into it because it just blew my mind so much, and I'm like, damn, there's so much evidence that we're in a simulation, and everything's breaking down, and all the veil's coming down now, and it's obvious. I truly think, the scene in the Matrix where they're all in capsules asleep, I think that's literally what's happened, brothers and sisters. I think we've been capsulated in some way, some form, and this is all a computer-generated existence that we're experiencing right now, but we have missions. Like I said, I think our mission is to help others around us, or for us ourselves, firstly, to remember, help ourselves firstly, and then help others. Very, very interesting. Okay, so let's go to the next thing. Someone said something about I'm going to have a quick look at my phone because it was something about...
A very important... How you feel about the situation?
Just hang on 2 seconds. I sent something in my phone to my friends. I just want to have a quick look because it was like... Oh, right. Okay, so there's a couple of things. I don't know if I mentioned it before. I think I may have. The port that's going on strike is 100 metres from Diddy's house. And the port, one of the biggest reasons they said that the port was going on strike is because the people there were sick of hearing kids screaming from those containers. So this would not be cool, but be awesome if that was exposed in its fullest form. Okay, the whole child thing issue, okay? And, you know, Diddy was just the first domino, and they're all just going to, right, you know, big time. Okay, there's that. And then there's like this one that says, I have not checked into this, okay, brothers and sisters, but I had to share it quickly with my friends. Apparently, sometime in October 9th, I think it is, 1/3 of the stars will be falling. Like I said, I haven't looked into it more, but this guy seemed pretty sure about himself. The other thing, there's a constellation apparently in the sky that says Kamala Harris, but backwards. Like the name of the star is Kamala Harris backwards. And then I read a comment on the page and someone wrote, millionaires don't use astrologies, billionaires do. So there's that. Look, that's the thing. There's so much I don't even know what to show you anymore. So October is going to be a very, very, very interesting month because October is, like I said, on the 4th of October, which is today for me. This will be the day that Pope Gregory in 582 decided to remove these 10 days, these literal 10 days from history. So where are they? I've done videos about those 10 days, and I think it goes very well along with the 10 days of darkness, all the things. Okay, so I was just checking what Jewish holidays, because remember in 2023 it was October the 7th. Okay, that's this Monday coming up. That's when the thing started over in Israel. Okay, so John, I think I already read that to you. Oh no, what was this? Oh, this is the first of... Oh, yeah. Okay. Solar eclipse. Yeah, there's a solar eclipse on Rosh Hashanah, the first day of the new year. Okay, this is Q's website. Major alert, the US government shutting down 72 hours. I see that, yeah. Everything's a psyops, okay? I don't legit trust anyone except my Father in heaven. Like, this was counting down 4 hours yesterday, and now it's back to 6 days. So there's constantly always something. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, let's go back to the original page. So their latest thing is major alert, Bank of America has gone offline worldwide, showing zero balances. This was yesterday, October 3rd. Oh, here's the thing I did. It says here, the October surprise that changes everything and everyone. It's coming 10/10/24. Now, when I saw that, I was like, oh, remember an iPet goat? Where are we? remember in I Pet Goat where the little girl, she puts the tanks are coming up to her and she's standing there, and then all of a sudden there's this like skeleton with fireworks behind it. I'll show you in a sec. But this here reminds me straight away of the Mexican Day of the Dead. Okay, we have here the Mexican Day of the Dead, right? And that is on, it starts pretty much anywhere from the 31st of October, which is Halloween, to the 4th, 5th and 6th of November. Right through election time. So I thought that's crazy that they use the same pictures, because here too in I Pet Goat we've got Iran. Okay, this is Iran. This is the moon. So the moon is effectively on the 9th going into the 10th. The moon will pretty much look like, remember I'm in Australia too, so the moon's sort of back the front where you can see it. But what was I showing you? Oh yeah, the moon. Okay, and it's just that this happens to be going on right now. Iran's coming. And then there's another bit in the film too. There. See this face? This skeleton, whatever? This is like the Mexican Day of the Dead, right? It just reminds me of that. So I'm like, October is huge. It's absolutely huge. Okay. So anyway, I've got a billion more things to talk about, but I'm not going to bore you and carry on with stuff. Like I said, I really had no intention. I pushed and pushed and pushed myself to make this video because I thought that's the least I can do. Some people, there's only a handful, if that, of people that say, oh, I missed you, I wish you'd make another video. So for those few people, I love you, and I hope this video has blessed you, to give you something to think about. The takeaway from this video is just love the Father with all your heart, soul and mind, and love each other. It's really all you need to do. The victory has already been won. We're just playing this out. We've just forgotten, brothers and sisters, we've forgotten that we've already won. And that, and as long as the enemy can keep us forgetting by putting distractions in front of us, they're doing a good job. But this is our job to wake up. We have to wake up first. We've got to love each other. We've got to love ourselves first before we can love each other. So heal all the things that are going on, forgive all the things, okay? But just be happy, be joyful, be loved. And, And just so you know too, that I still do my homeless ministry. Every Tuesday I cook 30 meals for my local people here. And if you feel led to be able to give any blessings, whether it's $1, whatever it may be, it's all appreciated. And that way, because, food is quite expensive now. But I appreciate it with all my heart, soul, and mind. Thank you for my beautiful, beautiful brothers and sisters who are very consistent and very generous in being able to support this ministry. I appreciate you, and Father appreciates the good work that you're doing. So, I love you heaps, and I don't know, like I said, if you want me to maybe, we'll work through the New Testament together bit by bit and, really pull it apart, we can do that just for the sake of, twiddling our thumbs until we get out of here. But just let us know. And if there's enough people that want me to do that, then I will definitely do that. And, try and commit myself to at least three shorter videos a week, so that we can get through it. Otherwise, we're going to be here to 2052. But anyway, whatever the case is, we all can see very plainly that we're coming to the end of the end, and that everything's just been a big poo show, and the only thing that matters is love. So that being said, I love you all with all my heart, soul and mind, and I pray that Father blesses you, I pray that the Son blesses you, and I pray that your life is full of abundance, happiness, joy, laughter, and all the good things. All right. God bless you. I love you. And I'll see you maybe in the next one. Bye.